What's up everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna show you 3 strategies that are freely available on TradingView, which are way better than what most people are doing in crypto. Actually, it's better than 95% of all retail investors making more money and having less drawdown, less risk. I'm gonna show you exactly which strategies those are. I'm gonna analyze them. I'm gonna show you the trades they're doing, and then you can decide for yourself if those strategies made better decisions than you or worse. And also let me know down in the comments. And the best thing of all, you could actually, if you choose to, automate these strategies. There is another video that I have about that. So you can take any of these strategies, you can automate them to actually buy and sell on your exchange. That is not part of this video, but part of this video. But if you know me, I'm all about automation. That's why all the strategies that I'm talking about are automatable, because I think that's the highest success rate that you will have when you automate things. All right, let's get started. Eyes on the screen, coffee in your hand, so you have enough energy to watch the whole video through. I mean, how would you miss a second of it when it is about making more money than before? And as always, don't like the video, don't subscribe to the channel unless you hear something interesting, you learn something new, I'm inspiring you. And then it makes sense, and then click the button. Not now, later. So watch the full video so you know if it helped you or not. Let's go. As you know, 95% of crypto investors lose money, and I think that is horrendous and they could do much better than that. Let's look at 3 strategies that I found on TradingView. They're fully free, and how they perform, and if they perform better than what most people are doing. So keep in mind what you were doing in the last bull and bear market and compare to the outcome of these strategies. If these strategies are better, then you have to ask yourself, what are you doing? All right, let's get into it. In the background, I have a strategy called the Supertrend Strategy. Now, how do I get there? I go to TradingView, I click on indicators, and here I search for strategy. And then I scroll down a bit and I find the Supertrend Strategy. You click on it, and when you click on it, it will be added to your strategies, and immediately it will pop up like this. You might see it actually in this particular way where you have all the text on the chart. You can turn this off by unchecking signal labels and quantity, click OK, and now the chart looks much cleaner. Now let's look at the performance of this strategy. It made 6,266% profit since the beginning of Bitcoin. This strategy is now applied on the chart since the beginning, and it had a drawdown of only 15%, which is quite good actually if you think about how volatile the asset is and also was. That means if you put money into the strategy and let it play out, you would have lost maximum 15% on a particular trade. All right, and then we also have this number, which is quite important. How often did the strategy win when it invested? It won 47.9% of the time. When it lost a little amount. When it won a higher amount, of course, otherwise it wouldn't be profitable. But let's zoom in into the last bull market and check what the strategy did. When did it buy? When did it sell? And you should always compare with what you did. Is it better or worse than what you did? Let's go. First of all, I'm closing the strategy tester to get rid of it, and then let's check out when it invested before the bull run started. TradingView shows buys and sells with arrows. So the blue one is buy and the red one is sell, of course. So here you can see it bought in at 11,500 and then it sold here with 166% profit at 30,700. That's not bad. What did it do afterwards? It waited it out and then bought and sold here with no profit at all. Bought and sold here, lost 11%. And what happened afterwards? Afterwards, it protected people from losing money, meaning that it prevented a 44.6% drawdown. That is nice. People can do other things with the money other than losing it here. Then it invested back in here, made another 27%. Then invested back in here, made another 15%. And again, protected people from losing here 38% of their money, but still made a losing trade here 12%, and so on. Now you can compare with what you did in the last bull and bear market, right? Did you buy early enough or not? If not, then consider using a strategy like this one. It's free, and if it is better than you, then use it, right? Makes sense. Then when did you sell? Did you forget to sell here before the crash came, or did you sell only later on and lost like 50%, 70% of your money? If that is the case, then again, this strategy would be way better for you than what you have done manually. Now let's see what it does right now in the current state of affairs. We can see that it bought here on the bottom at 27,900, made a profit of 41%, and currently it is invested again and is in profit 14%. Now, did you miss this buy signal, for example, here at 27.9? Are you not invested in Bitcoin, or did you buy much later? Again, this strategy would be much better for you. So what I'm trying to explain here is that you need a strategy, but then which strategy to use, right? Because usually good strategies cost money. That is correct. But if you can find strategies that are free, which is why I'm making this video, and they are better than what most people are doing, especially than what you are doing, then why not use a strategy that actually has a proper backtest like this one, and you can actually see how it performs, right? So it's more mathematics, it's more logic behind it, it's more thinking behind it than emotionally deciding every day what to do with your investment, right? This is the first strategy I wanted to show you, and it's already much better than what most people are doing out there with their money. But there's more. Let's go to the second strategy. All right, the second one is Hull Suit Strategy. And again, you can find it by going to indicators and you type in Hull Suit Strategy. You can copy that also from the bottom of this video description, and then you click on the one from Dash Trader. And once you've done that, the strategy will appear on your screen, on your chart, and then you can see the performance metrics in the backtest. Now, this strategy made more profit. It is at 9,322%, and that looks awesome on paper, but it also had a much higher drawdown, a max drawdown of 70%. But what does it mean that this drawdown is so high? Well, it means that you have to emotionally survive that one of your trades during the time of trading might be minus 70%, not realized loss, but in between the trades. So it might rebound, it might go back up, it might make a profit, it might make a loss. But in between, it was minus 70. And that's usually very hard for people to sustain. And that's why I'm showing you this. So you understand when you look at such a strategy, yes, it makes more money, but also you have to mentally prepare for the drawdown. If you really want to know what the largest losing trade was, then simply click on the performance summary and then scroll down, and at some point you find these two line items here. Largest losing trade was 24.6% and largest winning trade was 132% on one trade. That means that it didn't lose 70%, but the max drawdown is an indicator that is important because it is psychologically problematic if you have a trade that is potentially 70% in minus, because you might sell manually instead of letting it play out and rebound, right? So a strategy like that is quite risky, and I would never use such a strategy because it has a higher drawdown than 50%, and 50% is also hardcore to sustain. You can choose. If you can stomach 70% because you trust the overall outcome, well then perfect, then use it. And then you can see here that it had a 49% chance of winning trades, which is quite good as well. So as you can see on the chart, if we zoom in a little bit and see how it performed in the last bull market, what did it do there? You can see it was buying here at 10,766, which is even earlier than the other one. And then it sold here with a profit of 67%. Then it went back in here, made another profit of 55%. By the way, in the bull market, almost any strategy makes money. The magic is to sell before it falls off a cliff. Now let's see how it performed in that case. So as you can see here, it made another trade that was profitable, 27%. And then it started actually losing a little bit of money, 8% here, and then here like 0% basically, 5%. And why is that? Because it started to be a sideways market. And let's see. So it protected from a downside of 40%. That's quite nice. Then it made some, well, not so smart trades here, losing 13%, not really necessary. And then it made another profit here. That's nice, 30%. And let's see what it did in the massive bear market. It sold here, that's fine, but then it bought here, lost, bought here, lost. Yeah, so it's a bit more risky, as you can see. That's why the drawdown is higher as well. So yeah, it protected, but it's not as easy to use, I think, as the Supertrend strategy. Still better than what most people did, because most people actually lost money. Even this strategy, if it buys and sells and loses a little bit, it made a lot of profit beforehand to compensate for a few losses. Let's see how it's performing right now on the current price and the current market. We can see here that it bought in at 28,000, that's good, and then it sold over here with 48% profit, that is nice. Then somehow it made a loss here, 3%, not really necessary, and now it's in a trade and is also in profit. So right now it seems to actually capture the current trend. Would I use this strategy myself? No, because it has a high drawdown. And it also seems to be trading way too often for my taste. I rather trade less often, but then be right more often. But my argument is that most people, maybe including you, would be better off using a strategy like that compared to trading with emotions and listening to social media people giving you buy and sell signals, which you cannot backtest as efficiently as you can a strategy like this, where you see the numbers in front of you and you can decide which strategy to use based on actual proof and mathematics and not based on emotions. But there's more. Let's go to the third strategy. Okay, this strategy is quite funny actually because it's called moon phases. Now, what do you think that is? Well, you look at the moon and depending on how the moon is, you buy Bitcoin and you sell Bitcoin. Yeah, somebody developed that crazy strategy. Funny enough, it is in profit 651% over the whole time frame of Bitcoin. That is not a great performance, but still, and 81% max drawdown, horrible. But funny enough, 60% of the time it is correct, buying and selling in a profit. If we zoom out here, we can see that it traded from December 2014 and then until December 2021. And then since then, somehow it didn't trade, maybe because the data was not updated about the moon phases, because the strategy needs to have some input from somewhere about the moon phases, otherwise it can't trade. So I don't know, let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say that it would have continued the same way as it has in the past. Of course, you should not use this strategy, but I wanted to show you that there are crazy strategies like this, which are in profit while most people are losing money. Even moon phases are better than what most people are doing. Okay, but seriously, let's go to the actual third strategy I want to show you. The third strategy is quite crazy. As you can see, there is a lot happening in the background, but why I'm choosing this one is because it's not trading that much and I really enjoy that. So let's go very quickly through the numbers. You already know how to look at them. And by the way, this is the name of the strategy. Yes, it's crazy. I will not speak it out loud, but you will find it down below so you can copy paste it. And then you pick the one from Duke of Dolma. Click on it. So 3,360% net profit since the beginning of Bitcoin with a max drawdown below 50%. So that's 44, 45%. It wins 48% of the time and it doesn't trade that often. And what I mean by that, when you zoom in here and you try to ignore all the lines, instead you are looking only at the buy and sell arrows, you can see that it was buying here and then selling here. So that's nice. Just one trade, keep it simple, right? It made 366% profit and then it protected from the downside nicely, 44% downside protection, and then only bought back in here and then sold here with basically 5% profit. That's fine. And then it made a loss here. This was 14% loss, but then it actually protected from the downside again quite nicely, made another loss here, but then again it protected from the downside massively because it sold here at 40,000 and then didn't buy back in for a long time, which is good because the price crashed down minus 60% and that capital was protected. And then it went back in here in January 2023, started to make some profit, 28% and so on and so on. And now let's look at the current state of affairs. In the current market conditions, it's doing quite well. It was buying here at 27,500 and then selling here at 42,500, making a profit of 54%. That's quite nice. And currently it is in a trade, as you can see here. I think it bought in a bit late, but still it's in profit. And let's see what's going to happen here. Overall, this is a decent strategy. It made good profit and also it is below 50% drawdown, which I like. It doesn't trade too much. So this could be a strategy that I use. But do I use such a strategy? Do I use any of these strategies that I showed you in this video? But before I talk about what I do, I want to add some more value to you. I have a video showing you how to automate buying and selling from all of these strategies, actually any strategy from TradingView. You can automate buying and selling on your exchange. You can get the signals, you can send them to your exchange and they will actually buy and sell, okay? If you want to do that because you want to have a hands-off approach and you want to eliminate emotions by just letting it happen, right, automatically, then check out the video. It's quite nice. It might actually change the way that you invest. Okay, let's go back to what we wanted to talk about, which is what I'm doing. Am I using any of these strategies? Am I doing other things? What am I doing? Well, I'm an engineer and that's why I like automation and I spend quite a lot of time thinking about my own strategies. So I created my own, okay? I can show you one of those strategies here in the back. You do not have access to this because this is VIP only. Don't worry about it, so do not search for it in TradingView, but I want to show you the comparison between the free strategies, which are still better than what most people are doing, and professional strategies. For example, like this one. Same chart, Bitcoin, it made a net profit of 723,000% with a max drawdown of 17, let's say 18%, rounding up. Also, it didn't trade a lot and it won 63% of the time. You have seen the other strategies. Now you can compare the numbers. So now you know what I'm talking about. My point still stands. Any of the other 3 strategies I showed you are better than what most people are doing, better than maybe what you are doing. And I'm here to help. That's why I'm sharing with you all of this information. What I think is the best is to automate the strategy, okay? Because otherwise it's quite hard to stick to it. There is a lot of emotion involved, right? There is a good signal, but then you hesitate, right? Or it's weekend, or you're on vacation or whatever, right? That's why I really like automation. This is why I'm telling you, watch the video I mentioned before, because it shows you how to automate strategies. Even if you choose one of those I showed you before, they're good enough for starting with automation. And once you have your feet wet, you can go further and further and improve your performance and reduce your drawdown. Also, you can talk to me as well if you like. You have a link down below. You can book a call. We can talk. Automation makes sense and is very easy to set up, and this is what I'm all about. So finding a good strategy, automating the strategy, and then sticking to the strategy, this is the winning recipe. All right, I hope I inspired you to check this out even further. All the links that you need are down below, and while you are down below there, you can also click the like button and also the subscribe button, and while you're there, you can also click the bell. Why? Because I'm here to make you money, literally. I'm showing you how to find strategies, automate strategies, which strategies are good, and I'm even sharing with you the signals from my own strategies, actually just for Bitcoin, but still. So join my Telegram group where you can get all the Bitcoin signals there for free. And now we have deserved a coffee. So get yours, and I see you in the next video. Cheers.